What's up, mortgage coach community? You know, that was a little better clap than normal. So I'm fired up. We've got a special guest that I've wanted to interview for years, but he had to be a mortgage coach first. So Gavin Ekstrom is someone that I've known by reputation for quite some time. Is just one of those guys who's he's a change agent. He's a badass mortgage professional, and now he's north of black belt. Gavin, you've done over 500 TCAs, and it's good to have you on a mortgage coach call.
Well, it's an honor to be here. I have been a watcher of this program and watching Jeremy and the others, Josh Metal. A lot of my friends utilize the TCA product, and I was just slow to the game. So now that I have it, we use it frequently, and can't wait to be on this call with you guys. I will tell you this, I may be a black belt, but I am still learning this product. So I look forward to today as well, because I'm going to learn a lot from all of you guys teaching me. So let's let it rip.
Right on. So I've got my wingman, Todd Bookspan. We've been doing this, we've been doing the Friday mastermind for over 5 years. And then Tuesday, Todd is often here. What's up, Mr. Bookspan?
Hey, not much. You know, anytime we got a lineup like we got with Gavin and Jeremy, I'm here to learn and glean and really just see what I can do to hopefully ask some questions to make everyone think and take action.
Love it. And Deborah Bird, the top media company in the mortgage space. What's up, D Bird?
Good morning, everybody. Gavin, I'm super pumped. I've been stalking your Instagram. So I'm going to give you some pointers throughout the call when it fits. So
okay,
nice to meet you.
Likewise.
And then, of course, I get fired up every time I have my brother, Jeremy Forcier, who's not only one of the top leaders and teachers in the mortgage coach community, but, you know, just become a lifelong close personal friend. What's up, Jay Force?
What's up, Savage? How you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. So I'm
Nice.
surprised you look so good after Bottle Rock, you know?
I was thinking the same, Dave.
I was going to say the same.
Well, I have glasses on.
Yeah, right?
So no, it was a great time, and it's amazing what an IV with zinc, magnesium, and B12 complex and Coridol can do for you.
Right on. Well, you got your A game on, man. It's Tuesday. It's game time, guys. And here's the deal. We're one day away from halftime of 2022. I'm working on an article that I'm going to call, what am I going to call it? The Halftime Report 2022. And guys, things have changed. Like I've been doing this now for over 30 years, and I don't think there's ever been a year where it started off one way. Rates went up 2% in 2 months. And, you know, anyways, I'm not going to go through all the things that are happening in the mortgage space. All I can say is it's crazy and it's awesome at the same time. And one thing I'm super certain of, there are going to be mortgage professionals that get market share in this market. Like this is where people that are struggling either get out of the business or struggle more, and people that are thriving kill it. I want everyone who tunes into the mortgage coach community to kill it and be a market share grower. We're talking to two of them, Jeremy Forcier and Gavin Ekstrom. So Jeremy, why don't you do a proper introduction to Gavin, and then let's start drilling him with questions ranging from, you know, why he decided to become a mortgage coach to how he's getting leads, how he's winning with rate shoppers, how he's going to kill it in this market. Jay Force.
Compassionate lover, Greek god, Energizer bunny. That's Gavin Ekstrom.
Italian though.
The guy's crazy. So I was jealous of Gavin for a really long time. Full disclosure, I was envious, I should say, and I always really looked up to him, and I didn't know how he got it all done. So whenever I feel like that about someone, and I'm feeling like I'm judging them slightly, which we all do, I'm like, I got to be in relationship with this guy. I got to pursue him, see what he's all about. And over the last 5 years, we've become super, super close friends. And I've learned so much from him. And some of the favorite qualities that I see in Gavin is, one, he's always unbelievably present. I don't know how he can have ADHD and be so present in his conversations, eye to eye. I watch him like work a room or talk to his kids or his wife, and he's always super, super, super present. And that's a superpower that I try to emulate, like watching him interact with people. Obviously, he crushes a ridiculous amount of loans, runs a mega gigantic branch, has excellent leadership, super compassionate, and he just gets it all done. So I'm really excited to have you part of the mortgage coach community, Gavin. And it's been just awesome to see you explode over the last 5 years, and you're so generous with all the information. You guys, I ask him for anything, he has it in 1 second over to me. Like, he's just so on it. You're an inspiration, and super pumped to have you, bud.
Oh, okay, that's enough, but I love it.
So Jeremy, you asked the first question. You and I will kind of go back and forth in questions, and D Bird and Todd, if you guys can make sure the audience gets the takeaway and drives action out of this. So let's roll, Jeremy.
Sure. So first question I have for you, Gavin, is, in this environment, not only with your personal production, because you're still doing well, and we're all down, right? We're all down just because we are, but you're still crushing it, all things considered. What do you see is your biggest challenge versus the biggest challenge that your loan officers, because you have a lot, are leading? What's yours versus what you see is theirs, and where's the gap there?
So the biggest challenge, and I think a lot of top producing LOs, we talk about this, is they forgot how to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
And so it's getting back into the daily grind. What got us to this point? And here's what we have to remember too, is what got us here in this market, guys, isn't going to get us there. So now we have to get even better at the basics, right? And I always say, get brilliant or be brilliant at the basics. Now, the basics are hard, right? If you think about in the military, basic training, not everybody makes it through just simple basic training, because it's not simple. It is very difficult. So for me, it's just more of me inserted into everything that I'm doing. Having strategies when it comes to meeting with an agent, when meeting with a client, and yes, I still recruit. And so meeting with a recruit is having those strategies lined up to where I really don't have to think about it. It just comes very natural.
Awesome. Well, so let's put strategies on the side for a second. As far as I want people to really understand what it means to be more inserted into their business. Like when we're talking about basics. So, obviously you don't have a lot of time, and a lot of people don't think they have a lot of time. We all have more time than we think, no matter how busy we are. But you inserting yourself back into things maybe you weren't doing before, like what does that look like for you right now?
Following the calls, the theme days, right? More of me, even just quick text messages. I'm thinking of you. I'm working this weekend. Are you? They come to work with the team because of me. And I feel like over the last 2 years, I got a little removed from that because it was just sell, push the product, right? And now, and they didn't need me, but now our agents and our referral partners need more of our professional advice, because we are the professionals. We are the ones that have done this 10,000 times, right? And so you have a lot of agents that are even considering leaving the business that we work with and that we love. They need more of us. They need more of that one-on-one attention. And so that's when you say, like, hey, what have you done? It's just more calls, more emails, more video, more of everything, but also very leveraged too, because I work 45 hours and I'm going to stay at 45. How do you get it all done? Using proper technology, right? Like Mortgage Coach. And there's some other tools that I use, but having a tool like Mortgage Coach is so paramount to being involved and being a part of that transaction again.
Awesome. So Mortgage Coach team, number one, if you could go back and scratch in the recording and then dub 60 where he said 45 hours, that would be great. Just because I don't know if I need Kara to hear this or Amber to hear that we work 45 hours a week. I don't know if that's all the way true, because we love work so much. Like,
can I say that? So, but like my wife's like, you're always working. I'm like, here's the deal. You married an addict. And so get used to it. And I'm the same person that you married 15 years ago this September. I'm the same person. I'm an addict. And so I don't find this as work. I'm excited to come in every single day, right? I'm doing what I love. And here's a life lesson that I learned from my mom. I remember I was about 13 years old, and my mom says, Gavin, you just go to work to earn a paycheck. You never really love what you do. It's probably the worst advice my mom ever gave me, but I remembered that. And so as I was going to work at these different jobs back then, before I found a career, I kept hearing her voice saying, you're not going to like it. And then I'm like, my mission is to find the career path that's not work, that it's something I truly love. So coaching for the core, being part of this community now, I love it. It's not
That's
going
awesome. I wasn't calling you out, by the way. I just didn't want Kara to be mad at me saying I need to work 45 hours a week. Okay.
Yeah. Well, hey, we all can't do that. And by the way, guys, this guy has a few kids. How many kids do you have?
I have 6 kids.
So he's got 6 kids, and that present thing that you just said, Jeremy, I met, Gavin for the first time in Vegas a couple of weeks ago. And like, there was just this energy, this presence that it's uncommon. Like it's an uncommon level of presence and personal energy that you put out. I do want to make sure, because there's some new loan officers on this call, and we've said, hey, you do a lot of production, but I want to make sure everyone, gets it. You closed over 600 loans last year, right?
Yeah, I hate the number. I'm sure there was one somewhere that I gave away, but 666 loans, 235 million. My branch did over $1 billion, and the region did just shy of 2.5.
So guys, we're talking like, Hall of Fame level production. And then also, how big is your team? Just so we've got some stats and facts in terms of your personal production, like
13.
13, and just give us, you don't have to go through every person, but give us a minute on how the team is made up.
So 3 up front, 3 up on the back, 3 pre-approval managers. So they take it from lead to contract. They are the ones that will be responsible to update the agent the entire time. And then my back end support takes it from contract to close. And I call them, so my pre-approval managers up front, and then our closing coordinators are on the back. And here's just a little trick. The reason that we don't call them processors or back end support is using the term closing coordinator makes the client feel like they're that much closer to closing. So when the competition comes to take my business and they call Dave, and Dave says, well, where are you at in the process? And my client says to Dave, we're with the closing coordinator team. Well, that makes Dave automatically go, buddy, you're too far along in the process. Stay with them and let me get your refi. If they said, hey, I'm just in processing, then Dave's going to go, hey, there's still a shot. So I change it, closing coordinator team. Once it goes into closing coordinator, their job is every day is to get them closer to getting their keys. And that's how we sell it.
Ninja move, by the way. So thinking 3 steps ahead, guys, and thinking through all the details. Back to you.
And then
Jeremy,
on the sidelines, I've got some marketing people that do some stuff for me as well.
Oh, I do have one more question. Who creates the total cost analysis?
So Jordan Rumsey and Natalie Lawson, and then Jennifer Barger. Those are my 3. They create them. Then I'll explain them.
Okay. Well, I'll get to that one. It's my turn to ask a question again, but back to you, Jeremy.
No, that's great. So my next question is a great segue is, so we were order takers for the last 2 years, as you said. We just pushed product. We were, the rate was the rate, and that was really what everyone was going for, et cetera, lowering payments and purchasing homes. So now that you've made a transition or a commitment to like using Mortgage Coach again, and you're using it really, really quickly, why did you decide to do that? And what has been the difference in engagement with the client now that we're in a completely different market?
So partially too, why I created the closing coordinator team, right, is we always get shopped. And so I wanted to find strategies on how I can slow down the stopping. It's never going to stop entirely, but if I can slow down the shopping, then great. Well, one way was the closing coordinator team, using that terminology. The other way was embracing the total cost analysis, because I feel like I am the best. I feel like we provide the best experience at a very high professional level. And yet, if I'm just handing you over an LE that's produced by whatever LOS software you use, it's not giving you that professional presentation. And so we use the TCA for that. And in doing so, when we are getting shopped, we always say, hey, just go ahead and send over their total cost analysis and let's compare them. Rather than, in most cases, they don't even have the total cost analysis. They just have the same old LE that we were using. So it just sets the bar high.
So, and just make me feel good. Say that you learned that from that script from me.
I did learn that from you.
All right.
And,
great.
and Jeremy, I was gonna
Trust
make
me,
sure that
buddy.
got called
Even
out.
if you didn't, I just wanted to hear it. That
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah, we did learn that from Jeremy, guys, and I think there's something in our YouTube channel where I can't remember what we called that script, but it.
So I don't want anyone to miss that, and I don't. It doesn't matter if he heard it from me or not.
I
and
did.
don't. But the reality is that I don't want everyone to miss that. I don't want them to miss it at all. I still use it all the time. When people are like, "I'm getting quoted 3.875 with no points still," right? I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hey, that's great. I want what's best for you and your family. Can you go ahead and send me over their total cost analysis with the video so I can review it and make sure it's legit?" Right?
100%.
And it's always crickets.
Well,
What
what are you
yeah.
talking about? They didn't send it to me. They just quoted me. Yeah.
Yep.
So guys, 9:16, anyone listen to this, write that down at 9:16 into this call, or 16 minutes into the call. You're watching this on YouTube. That's a script. I mean, if you're a branch manager, you need to train your loan officers on this. Everybody, and it's guys, it's not going to change. Omni shopping. Every consumer is shopping you. If they say the word mortgage in their house, it's going to show up on Facebook and Google, and they're going to get rates. So even if they're relatives, they're shopping you. And if you do not have ninja moves like closing coordinator, if you do not deliver a total cost analysis, which has completely disrupted the fee worksheet, and I hope you caught that little quote from Jeremy where it's, oh, forward the total cost analysis with the video on it. Like you're making your competition look unprofessional because they didn't do that. And you're delivering strategies. So 16 minutes into it, we could end this call. And you guys all got one extra loan this month.
Well, let's not forget it. Let's not forget a couple things. Okay. So one, so far my notes are, one is that we have to work harder than ever. Gavin didn't say work harder than ever, but he did. Quarterback in your business, extra work, more text messages, more calls, more relationships, more inserting yourself where you think, hey, there's nothing I really have to do. Like the loan is clear to close. My team's already calling them. No, call them, celebrate, take that information and call the agent right away. We have to figure out ways to double our outbound connection output with minimal time. And I think the easiest way to do that is that whenever I talk to a client right now, okay, whether they give me a thumbs up, hey, this mortgage coach looks great, or whether it's, hey, you guys are doing awesome. I call them, you're clear to close. Whenever I get any positive reinforcement, I'm reaching out to whoever that referral source was who referred them to me immediately. So I might talk to, if Dave, even if he's not a realtor, Dave's my friend, he referred me Gavin, I'm doing a loan for him. I might call Dave 3 times during the transaction for Gavin. Okay, so that's how I'm doubling up to give you some tactical insight on, like, here's the theory, here it is in action, is that someone's happy, someone celebrates, someone did something great, we closed a loan for someone. I'm duplicating my calls by calling the referral source where it came from, regardless if it's a past client, a realtor, a business associate, a current client, it doesn't matter. And then you can double up your contacts. Well, why would you do that, Jeremy? It seems kind of silly that you're calling the same people over and over again. Well, the reason I'm doing that is because when you do that, and the more connection that you have, you will get more referrals. Trust me.
100%. And I hope you guys caught that. He is calling the referring source multiple times during that transaction to thank them for that referral. And so when does that start, Jeremy? And hopefully you'll say,
it starts at the beginning, at the initial lead, the initial introduction. And we have to remember that we're all programming people how to work with us. Okay. So I'm programming, like my dream is to do 25 loans a month, every month forever, personal production, and that every single client refers me my next deal. That's my dream. Okay. I have it written down. Haven't figured it out yet, by the way, but I have it written down. I focus on it every time. 25 fundings a month, and every one of those funding literally refers me my next client for the next month. Right.
Here's the thing. How many loan officers are there in the country?
I have no idea. I don't pay attention to any of them. I have no clue.
There's like 300,000, right? And
Too many.
they chose you. The agent could have referred that business to anybody, but they chose you. So when you call that referring source to thank them, literally, there's 300,000 loan officers, Jeremy, in the country. and you chose me to take care of this client. I am sincerely thankful.
Gosh,
We've
man.
got to get back to that. I heard this, the great Dave Savage said, we have to get back into selling shape. And part of that selling shape is education, right? Leadership over price, right? The vice of leadership, but vice over price. It goes back to the total cost analysis and what we need to be doing every single day.
Yes.
Getting back to selling, educating at the highest
Now,
level.
selling shape, for the record, you guys, I want to get back into mental selling shape, but not old Jeremy physical selling shape. Because there was a time where I was just selling all the time and eating fried chicken and it wasn't good. So we want to be healthy mentally and in great sales shape, and physically we got to be in great sales shape so that we can keep going all the time. So I have a couple of specific questions for you, Gavin, around mortgage coach and the types of, and there's no right or wrong answers here. We always want to share pain, be real, of course, like as to where you're at in the process. You have teammates helping you, etc. So
Yeah.
like what type of total cost analysis are you using the most right now?
So because the big box banks are doing ARMs, they're doing products where they're showing buy downs. I'm white boy basic, if you will. Scenario one is simply, purchase price 20% down, what they really want, and then going into 0.5% discount, 1% discount. Also educating them too, like if somebody says they want to put down 20%, is not just taking that and formulating that into a total cost analysis, is asking more questions around why they want to put 20% down. What's the rest of their financial ability look like? And I think so often we as loan officers just want to get through the application, right? Just get them to sign here. We have to slow down to speed up. And so by asking more qualifying questions will allow you to really demonstrate the best total cost analysis that's available.
Awesome. I love it. So I'm going to share my screen if it's okay, Dave, Todd, D-Bird.
Of course.
Okay?
And D-Bird and Todd, I'm going to bring you in at about the 30-minute mark with questions and comments. So be ready. And I want to make sure everyone heard that. Like in a market like this one, showing rate options allows you to show the family different options. I can't wait to hear how Jeremy is positioning that in today's market, and down payment options. I mean, every consumer that's buying a home can benefit to that. And I can't tell you how many times I've interviewed mortgage coaches, strategists, people that are not just transactional closing loans, that when they show that down payment option, they're creating epiphanies for clients, because big banks aren't doing that. Most loan officers aren't doing that. They're able to go from playing checkers to playing chess. And if you don't do either one of these things, and I'm not saying you do both with one client, but in a tailored way, you're doing one of these. This is like the springboard of going from, I'm not a loan officer, I'm a mortgage advisor. So go ahead and share your screen, Jeremy, and share what you were going to share. And I'm sure Gavin will get a takeaway. We'll all get takeaways from it.
Awesome. So I want to walk through a scenario or two that I'm using a lot right now. And one of them was one that Gavin just mentioned. Okay. So first, before I show you that, look at how many I've done for this one client. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. 13 for one person. All right. So if we look at this though, let's find the correct one.
Probably 13 minutes of work, guys, by the way, because Jeremy's done it so many times and he's so good at it.
It's probably an hour, okay, for 13, about 5 minutes a piece, right, start to finish. But the reality is that this client is an engineer, okay, and this client is very, very intelligent, although really struggles with the basic numbers of cash to close and interest rate, no matter how I've explained it, which is why there's 13. So I've gone through like, hey, this one costs 13,000 more. That's why the cash to close is more. And really what this client wants to see is 85,000 with lower interest rates than what I'm recommending. Okay, that's just the gist here. Okay, 85,000 total cash out. So then I finally just made it really simple and said, hey, I'm just going to include the closing cost in all of these scenarios. So there's 85,000 total cash out of pocket. That's down payment with all closing costs. And then the cost is just included in the loan amounts, right? So I got to walk this individual through because they kept saying, hey, 5.5% seems really high. right? For 5% down loan, et cetera. Like, and I was like, no problem. Let's show you lower options. Would you like to see lower options? So when someone, tip number 3, when someone says, hey, these rates seem really high, the only appropriate response right now, in my opinion, is, would you like to see lower interest rate options? Because what are they going to say, guys? What are they going to say?
Ninja, write that down.
They're going to say yes. Yes, please. They're asking, yes, please show me lower interest rate options. Great, no problem. Happy to do that. Right. So then I went ahead and created this 475, 499 with all the cost included. Okay. And then 5.5. And I walked them through these scenarios. So this is just an example of how you can still show lower interest rate options, okay, with cost included into the loan amount if they qualify, of course, and that show them that what was most important to them. What was most important to them was 85,000 total cash out of pocket, period. Okay, that was the most important to them, and the lowest payment they can get with 85,000 total cash out of pocket. So at the end of the day, even though I'm making maybe a recommendation of something different in the video, which I clicked off here just so I have a video on all of these. Okay, in the video, it may have said like, hey, I don't know if it makes sense to pay all this money for a slightly lower rate. You're most likely going to refinance within the next 5 years, et cetera, but there is no right or wrong option. I just want you all to remember that. I always say that every time, because at the end of the day, it's not my choice. It's their choice. The only time it's my choice is when they only qualify with 4.99 and it doesn't matter what the cost is. Like, that's the highest rate they can go to qualify for the loan that they want. That's the only time that it's 100% my choice, right? And to make sure they understand that. So this is one example of how you can show people right now in the market, same cash to close on a purchase transaction with multiple different interest rates by simply including the closing costs if they have a big enough down payment, okay, into the loan amount. Very, very simple, easy strategy to use right now in a purchase market environment.
Love it.
Dave, you're muted.
Oh, sorry, I thought I hit it. What's the most points when you do a buy down? Do you go up to 2 points? Do you go over 2 points? What do you do?
Let's just take a look. So on this one, what's 21,000?
And Gavin, before this party is over, I would love to see one of your TCAs just to see how you set things up. And also, yeah. Gavin, are you adding a video to it most of the time?
Not most of the time.
Some of the time? Okay.
Probably something I need to do most of the time.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So to answer your question, this was 3 points.
Oh, wow. So you're doing buy downs. Like and by the way, I bet you most of Jeremy's competition is not doing buy downs. It is not comfortable and competent doing it, but it sounds like that's just part of your ninja moves nowadays.
Well, let's remember something. I'm not doing anything, baby. I'm just showing them what's available. I mean, I'm not doing anything. I mean, I'm literally showing them. If you say, hey, I want to see lower rates, I'm happy to show you what lower rates are. I'm also happy to show you what it costs, because it is what it is.
Yes.
Right. So, I mean, Deborah's sister is really good at this too, right? Like, just show them what it is. Just show them the whole spread of what it costs. I mean, the reality is that I have shown people up to like a 9-point cost, which, listen, I know everyone's typing, you can't do that. I know you can't do that. I'm doing it to prove a point to people. Like, I'll show them, hey, the 3.5 costs 7.4 points. Right. And then everyone goes, oh, well, why would I want to do that? It's like $45,000. I go, I know. I just wanted to show you. Right? Like, that you can get anything you want. I know that you can't go more than 3%, and there's, all the high price loan limit stuff. Okay. So I'll go 3-2-1 or 3-2-0, or I'll go 2-1-0. It all depends on the client, the product. We're not in a crazy market, by the way. I want to say this over and over again. Dave said the crazy word earlier. I want us all to train our minds that we are in a competitive and complicated market. When anyone says crazy to me on the phone right now, I stop myself, because I was buying into it too. And I was like, you know what? This isn't a crazy market. What it is competitive and very complex, which is exactly why you need me. It's competitive and very complex.
So okay? Jeremy, thank you for that coaching, bro. I will not say crazy again. If anybody around me hears me do that again, competitive, complex, which requires a pro, which I was born to be. So So I thank you for that coaching, Jeremy. By the way, guys, I wanted to show you this post that hit on Saturday. I think it hit the Mortgage Coach Facebook group. And it just makes the point here, guys. This was a loan officer. He said, I had to share some feedback from a customer the other day. If you're not sold on Mortgage Coach, I hope this will help you. I have been hesitant to record videos because it's awkward and uncomfortable. Well, I qualified a great buyer that was referred to me by an agent last week. I put together 4 scenarios. I recorded a personal video. I was not aware that they had reached out to 2 other lenders for a pre-qual. Guys, that happens all the time in this marketplace. His feedback was to me that my presentation was above anything he expected, and other lenders weren't even close to what I did. For him, it was the icing on the cake, was the personal video that I recorded. His words were, I destroyed the competition, giving me the business up because of the work that I saved him. And he was not a good reader out loud. It made me a believer. I just wanted to show that, guys, because that's truth. It's like the TCA with the video is like the 1-2 punch. And so Gavin, you said you wanted to get some takeaways. I can't emphasize enough. I've interviewed too many loan officers. I've heard too many stories like that. And the TCA is gold, but the TCA plus a video is the best. And it just comes down, do you want to be the best or do you want to be good?
Well, if I'm a boxer, right? If I'm a professional boxer and I only have a right and I don't have a left, then I'm going to get knocked out. And so you said it like, hey, you're doing the right really well. Start doing the left and watch what happens.
Yeah. So hey, I do want to give Todd and Deborah a chance to either one, if there's a takeaway you want to make sure everyone heard, or let's not change the rhythm because Jeremy's got an incredible interview going. I have he's stolen 2 of my questions, but they sound better coming from him. Todd,
I want to add something though, real quick, because competitive and complex. It's what it was like back in 2008 when we mattered at the highest level. Reputation matters. So remember, we've got to educate our agents on just that. Hey, it is a complex market and it is super competitive. This is where the professional, this is where I come in. This is where you need me.
Beautiful.
100%.
Great coaching, great scripting. Todd, anything you want to call out or any questions you want to ask?
Well, I have too many takeaways. I take up the rest of the call, but I do want to point out, Jeremy's talking about selling, right? Jeremy's done such a great job of leading sales meetings in our community. And we've really talked about how the TCA reduces the tension of the conversation and how it really proved when we did the TCA Day Challenge with Jeremy and his region that it also reduces price exception. So don't forget that part of it, that's really one of the keys if you're a leader. And then just as a loan officer, if you're struggling with the conversations, when you're doing these things, putting the video on, just like that, the user that Dave just highlighted, it's going to make your job easier and you're going to win more transactions. I can't wait. I got to throw in the quick Modern Mortgage Summit plug. We're just over a week away from the Modern Mortgage Summit and Modern Real Estate Summit. We're getting tons of questions. It's a live event again. It's virtual. Dave, myself, and Renee Rodriguez are going to be hosting it. And I can't wait. Jeremy's going to be talking about we forgot how to sell is what the name of Jeremy's talk is. And so that's just going to be one of the highlights. And then in the afternoon, we're going to have the Modern Real Estate Summit. I just had a user of Win by Noon reach out to me. She rented a movie theater for 4 hours for $200 and she's getting a ton of agents in there. And all she has to do is buy one ticket, right? She's buying her $100 ticket and she's going to be able to put mine and Dave's and Renee's face. It's going to be very exciting, 40 feet tall up on a screen and bring in all of her best agents. Movie theaters, other than the ones who apparently had Top Gun going on, but think about it, on a Wednesday at noon Pacific time, they probably have nothing going on in their movie theater and they will rent you for really inexpensive. So those are kind of my couple of thoughts. And then I've just got so many other quotes and stuff I can bring up, but I'll wait till the end to wrap it up.
Right on, right on.
Hey, I want to touch on that because I don't think a lot of branch managers really focus on pricing concessions and why they're happening. And I think that pricing concessions will happen no matter what, but you can minimize them with better leadership, better coaching, and teaching our salespeople how to sell and how to use the TCA product, right? Because I know on my personal team, our PEs have gone down a ton just by us integrating into this program. So I can't touch on that enough. I actually just sent out an email to our sales manager today and said, I want to know team by team what their pricing exceptions have been over the last 12 months, because those are the teams that need the most help when it comes to selling. Our rates are all about the same.
So hey, we'll take this offline, but I would love to do another interview on negotiating price exceptions. And, you know, Jeremy has some of the lowest, you know, price exceptions in your company, and he gives everybody a TCA and a video. Sounds like you do too, Gavin. So I would love to just drill down on that and maybe just create like a 30-minute playbook on how to improve profitabilities, improve the service you give to a family, improve conversion, all at the same time, from a leadership perspective. So I'd love to like spend a half hour on that if you and Jeremy are cool with it.
No problem.
Hey, I also want to call out, just to add on to the Modern Mortgage Summit that's coming up. You know, every leader that we have on that, first of all, they're all $200 million mega producers that are killing it in this market. And I love all of the headlines. Shayla Gifford finally landed on her headline because the market is so challenging right now. And she's like, I want to do something that's really special. So Jeremy, you're going to love this headline for her TED Talk at the Modern Mortgage Summit: How to Love Your Life and Your Career Even When the Market Sucks.
Yeah, Shayla.
Yeah, right. So guys, this, you know, June the 8th, I mean, that event now, I think it's the third year we've done it. It's always important, but guys, we're in a market right now where every lead, every loan, every basis point matters. And we're also in a market where you can thrive, but if you kill it in this market and you develop these habits and these skills in this market, I am telling you right now, I believe it with all my heart. I don't know if it's going to be 6 months, 18 months, 2 years, 3 years, but good times are coming. You know, like this is a market where you plant seeds, you use your CRM, it's powered by Sales Boomerang, you're delivering presentations, you're using HomeBot, you know, you're using platforms. And by the way, you also need to be super present like Gavin, like, but if you can be that like super present, super caring, humble, hungry loan officer, and you're smart because you use your CRM, not every week, not every day, every hour, and you use these tools, guys, you're going to kill it in this market. You're going to get market share in this market, and you're going to get rich when rates start to come down again. So I hope you're really tuning into this. D Bird, quick comment or question before we give it back to Jeremy.
Yeah, just, you know, the Modern Mortgage Summit, it's the top guns, it's the top 1%, it's the elites. They're, you know, Jeremy said, working harder than ever, training harder. He said, double your outbound connection with less time.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who are listening on this call, and even if you've gone and already seen Top Gun, take the approach that when you tune in to these calls, either that we do on Mortgage Coach or on June 8th, it's meant to sharpen your tools, because we're all going after the same mission, and it's a battle zone out there. So what are you doing to be the superhero or the captain of the wealth team for your clients and referral partners, so that you can say, this is your captain speaking, and you're giving that advice through video. And if you're worried about, I know it's uncomfortable with video, but that carries the most amount of influence and connection. So you're leaving too much, the cost of not doing a video when you're giving a TCA, or the cost of not then putting that on social, which Gavin, that was going to be my only little tidbit after auditing your social. You're not showing the one-to-many strategy using TCA to really highlight that you are the strategist.
Yeah, good.
So
be the top guns,
I knew
guys.
I would learn a lot today too, and so I'm going to come with that left.
Well,
What
and
I,
think
as he was talking, I want to track
Gavin,
it. I want to track it for 90 days. Sorry. I want to track it for 90 days and see how much better of a conversion we have by adding the video. And not just the conversion, guys, the referrals, right? The current client referrals, which we all need. And one thing you said, Dave, is basically we've got to treat that lead like gold. I would tell you this homework assignment is go and find out what a lead is worth to you. Take your margin of the company, not just your 150 basis points, by the dollar amount, your average loan amount, and tell me what a lead is truly worth. On average, it's going to be about 13 grand. But there's no way that we're treating them that way, right? We're on to the next, on to the next. So slow down to speed up and listen intently. So sorry, Dave, I just want to get that across.
No, that was key. And you're the guest. So jump in as often as you want. And I just want to remind folks, guys, it's TCA Tuesday. And what Deborah said, when you're thinking of social media, and you do need to create brands, guys, I talk all the time about do what Amazon and Zillow can't do. And part of that is they can't be you. They can't be a local leader in your market. They're not going to have videos on social media. They're not going to have videos on TCAs. And so, Gavin, that would be my thing is think of everything you're doing is the jab. You're jabbing, you're creating, entertainment. I mean, you're killing it. But every once in a while, throw a jab where you share a strategy and you share it one to many. So, and Jeremy, have you been still doing your one to manys? I know you've tested it a few times and you had great results, but are you getting better at doing one to many TCA strategies?
I did a one to many last week just to a realtor group, which was a TCA with the video, et cetera, talking about seller buy down strategy. The reason why I'm doing that again is that in my market, even though it's still competitive and it's complex and it's hot in certain segments, it is really cooled down, you guys. Like major cool down. I mean, I'm seeing 70% less multiple offers. I'm seeing price reductions, things not going into contract when they have offer dates. I'm seeing, hey, we're accepting offers as they come now rather than having an offer date. So, I'm seeing a huge shift in my market personally very quickly, like over the last 4 weeks, right? So one to many is great. I need to be better about it on social still. Deborah, don't roll your eyes. And I just, I'm good at it on email. I got to get better at it on actual socials. But I think it's important for people we have to move really quickly. How am I going to put this? So when I look at my business right now, I want to be like Tesla and McDonald's, like if they were to do a mashup or a remix together. Okay, so I want the buying experience of Tesla. It's so easy. It's incredible. It's a high level of service. It's simple. It's just, it feels good when I bought my Tesla. It's the best buying experience I ever had, right? Everyone was ready. It was very well done. I felt super cared for. Someone reached out to me and it was easy. And I want to be like McDonald's though too. So, which is predictable, same process every single time and very fast. Like, what you're going to get. So if I could be like that in my business right now, that's how I want to be. I need to be fast like McDonald's. I need to pivot. There's a new strategy. I got to get it out there as quick as humanly possible, right? But I still want to make it high touch, high feeling like Tesla or Nordstrom's or insert wherever your favorite places that you shop and you've had a great experience. Couple things I want to go through real quick though, okay?
Can I add one thing?
Oh yeah, you go first, Gavin, because you're the special guest.
Your Tesla's fast, Jeremy. Just step on it. But here's the thing. I want to ask you this question because as Jeremy was talking, I'm like, why am I not doing this? As I'm well hunting right now, right? I want bigger producers. Why am I not sending them a total cost analysis with a video asking them, are their clients getting a presentation like this from their lender? Is that already being done? Like, have you had experience in doing that, Jeremy? But if I'm chasing somebody and I had this with an email and a link, like click here and like, this is what sets us apart with the video that pops up. Like, I'm sure there are agents that have never seen this.
Yep. So yes, I will give you the feedback on that tomorrow because I wrote that down that I'm an idiot and I need to do that today. So yes.
So guys, and Jeremy, I wanted to give you like just a push because I've done this over the years a few times. I can still remember when you didn't use video. Guys, I want everybody to listen to what I'm going to say and use the analogy of a golfer. And the best golfers know how to use all their clubs. They only carry what they need and everything that they have, they use. And Jeremy has mastered the TCA with a video. Think of that as a putter. Everybody needs to get it. Jeremy has mastered prospecting. Think of that whenever he hits off the tee. Like, because you know what? You never get a chance to putt and get par if you don't get off the tee. So guys, he prospects every day. He wins by noon. He always gets his outbound calls. You can't play golf if you can't get off the tee, or wait, you can't be a par golfer if you can't get off the tee and put it in striking distance to make a putt. So you got those two things down. Jeremy's got like how to use the bomb video. He doesn't use bomb, but he uses, was it co-video? Co-video. So he's got that club. Think of that like his 9-iron. You know, he's got the 9-iron, he's got the driver, he's got the putter. Looks like Gavin just gave us a new club, guys. You know, we don't use it with everybody, but it's a club, and Jeremy's going to try it and guarantee if it works, Jeremy's going to get good at that club. He's going to use that club. But I want you, Jeremy, to think of the one-to-many TCA Tuesday. You pick the club, but it's a club that, one, you don't use when you should use it. Two, you know, you're not getting it. But you know what, bro? If you start using that TCA Tuesday, that one-to-many, and you use it consistently, you use it good, you're going to be a better golfer, bro. So again, I'll just leave that lying. And I want everybody who's listening to this, think of that analogy. And in this market, guys, we got to get good at all of our clubs. You know, you got to get good at HomeBot. You got to get good at calling your trigger alert leads powered by Sales Boomerang. I'm going to put a link down below. Jeremy did a killer interview on how he's calling trigger alert leads. Like, if you're not doing that, guys, you can't kill it in this market. So we're at the 15-minute mark. I'm not going to ask any other questions till closing. Jeremy, it's you and Gavin. Rock it out. And then the three of us will provide our closing thoughts in the last couple minutes.
Awesome. Supreme Coaching, by the way, I want to just highlight what Dave said for 2 seconds. David challenged me, okay, on something I'm not doing well. And that's what great coaches and mentors do. He knows that I go to my comfort zone, just like everyone else. Right? I go to my comfort zone, what's comfortable, what's quick for me. So we all have to get uncomfortable. I'll do one today, I promise. I'll do it on social, I'll do it live, just like I did last time. I don't even know what I'm doing, but it worked and it's awesome. And I'm going to do it again today. So you have my word on that. I want to walk you through a couple different scenarios using the TCA briefly, and then we can wrap up. And Gavin, feel free to add color, anyone else. And I have a couple closing questions for you. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen again here. And I want to show you another strategy, some that is coming up a lot for me. So it may or may not for you, but you can be prepared for it. So in this scenario, this is someone who wants to do a home equity line of credit, That's what they requested, right? And then they said what they want it fixed, which is a home equity loan, right? So whenever someone requests one of those, instead of rolling my eyes and going, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this, I say, no problem. Let's look into all the different options to make sure you make an educated choice, right? So in this situation, this person wanted a large equity line of credit. Context is important, 250,000. Their current loan balance is only 299,000 or 300 or something like that, right? So they want to get a home equity loan that's fixed, which is 7.5% when I priced it out with what I have available, okay, 7.5%. And what I showed them here was in column 1 is that, hey, if you paid off your first loan and just took the whole 250 out, yes, your rate's going up from 3.5% up to 5.125, but here's your payment, 3266. If you bought down the rate to 499, your payment's 3217. Then I showed them future. Okay, hey, if it goes all the way down to 2.99, which is the verbiage I use. Hey, if it goes all the way back down to the lows at some time in the future, because usually the previous lows always get broken, this is what you're looking at a payment if it goes down, okay, in the future. Now, this is where the video, and I can give you this link so you can hear the actual verbiage in it, is that I said, listen, here's why I would consider these first two options instead of a home equity loan. Home equity loan you start paying on from day one and you need the money, you have a purpose for it. Okay, at 7.5%, your payment's going to be $2,013. His current mortgage payment right now, okay, is $2,658. Okay, so what I'm showing is that $2,658 plus the $2,000 is $46, and that's a lot more than $3,200 a month. Forget the interest rate, your cash flow, your payments. Everyone goes into these things thinking that they're going to pay this off really fast. Okay, I'm going to pay off this second loan really, really fast. But it's just not the case. From my experience, that person's going to call me in 3 to 3.5 years saying, how do I combine these loans? And this was a waste when they should have just done this. right? And then they could refinance in the future. So it doesn't mean he's going to take this option. What it means is that he is getting massively educated from me. And whatever this individual chooses to do, they know they have options, but you could get a cash out refinance, right? With a much larger loan. So we have to think about the advice we're giving and how to use these tools that we have to show them what could happen. What would the future look like if it went down? Well, why wouldn't I just get a second and then refinance in the future? That's a question, okay, that you'll get. Hey, I'm so glad you brought that up. Well, if housing prices go down, right, and if you get a second, when you combine those, it's considered a cash out refinance. I don't know if we'll have enough equity to combine those two things, and cash out refinances are more expensive than rate and term. Now, if we do one loan right now, once you're 6 months from that funding date and rates go down, you're considered a rate and term refinance. And even if the equity came down in your house, you can still redo it at a lower rate. So planting these seeds for people, right, and telling them and leading them of what really could happen. It's not fear just to scare to get them to do something. It's telling them what could happen so that they make a good choice. Okay, so it's really important, I think, with refinances right now. I'm getting tons of requests for home equity lines of credit or fixed home equity loans.
So hey, I got to jump in. Jeremy, stop sharing your screen.
Yep.
Get us the link. I'm just going to do 30 seconds, Gavin. So 47 minutes into this, guys, this is another cornerstone conversation. And I want every loan officer to write this down. Leadership. So first of all, the best loan officers I've ever interviewed, and I consistently interview, they're great leaders, equals future casting. So what Jeremy did, and when I created Mortgage Coach many years ago, it was all about like average loan officers, quote rates, here's your rate, here's your payment. Great loan officers, like my advice makes a difference. I future cast. That's why we show the cost of those loans over 5 years, over 30 years. And guys, if you future cast, you've now left at least 95% of the population of your competition behind. So what Jeremy's doing is he's future casting and he's asking questions so that he's the expert. Like he's not going to lose. Anyways, I really am not going to talk to the end now.
I love that strategy. The one question too, Jeremy, is to always ask them, have you had a home equity line of credit before? And how did you pay it off?
Love it.
Because you're exactly right, buddy, is they refinance to pay it off because their idea of, oh, we're going to save all this money didn't happen. And so just reminding them of how that went the last time.
Yes, I love it. And regardless of the outcome, you're trusted and you're telling the truth. Truth wins. It just
every
does.
time. And I think that's what when we get rate shoppers, right? I think they're just looking for somebody who's going to tell them the truth.
Yes, 100%.
That's what they really want.
Yeah. So price concessions real quick with Mortgage Coach. I get this question a lot. You guys email me if you're watching this. I get lots of emails from people that go, so how are you, battling? How do you show people what things cost? Well, the big mistake I see loan officers make that work for me, because I get to see the data directly, is that, and this will be a question for anyone who wants to participate. I'll start with you, Deborah. How about that? So Deborah, let's pretend you're a loan officer and you see that something cost 1.203 in points. What do most loan officers tell the client it costs? What do you think?
1.23 points.
No, I wish. They say it's 1 point. Okay.
Oh.
Or they see that it costs 0.308. What do you think they tell everyone it costs? Zero.
Sorry, yeah.
So that is the number one thing, right, that I see as an issue is that, like, if you can't explain to people that it's nonlinear and there is no such thing as 1 point, as 2 points, as they're not round numbers, then you don't create any flexibility for yourself when the market, the next day you go to lock and it's 0.51. They're like, well, what happened to the no points? And all of a sudden you're at a 50 basis point concession. So I get challenged on this a lot. They're like, you don't really do that. So I just want to show you, here was that TCA I showed earlier. One, you asked me how much was I showing? 2.973 is what it was that day, okay, that I quoted it out in the fees. Well, what was the other one? I don't remember. It was 2.093. What was 5.5? That day, it was 0.877. So to start having great conversations, you have to first put the exact data in there to, number one, educate. Don't be afraid of getting shopped. It's education purposes. And then number two, when things change, so if the market gets better, all of a sudden it's lower. If it gets worse, it's an easier conversation to have with the client.
Hey, Jeremy, share your screen one more time
Sure.
on that same place, and then click settings in the upper right-hand corner. See settings, click on settings. So I want you guys to see that. Jeremy has created 3,217 TCAs. He's created over 8,000 TCAs. Now, he didn't use video for years, you know, and I was telling him to use video. Finally, because he's such an important change agent in the industry and he happened to live about 30 minutes from me, I actually had to buy a video camera, drive down to his office. I crawled underneath his desk to plug in the video.
True story, by the way.
True story.
Oh my gosh.
Did.
Yeah, like, and I knew that Jeremy would, you know, one, feel like he owes me because, like, dude, Savage bought me a camera. He came in, he plugged it in, he was going to do video. And now he's become, you know, one of the top change agents in the mortgage coach, you know, community. So anyways, I just wanted everybody to see that. And then notice they've been viewed 31. No, we're good. They've been viewed over 31,000 times, guys. Think about that. Like, what better marketing is there than you loving on a family, giving them great advice, putting a video on it, 31,000 views. That is brand equity. You know, like, that is like people in his market, everyone that he's given a TCA in a video, like, this guy's hardworking. He's humble, hungry, and smart. All right, so let's wrap it up, guys. Closing thoughts, Gavin, since you are the man of the hour. Any closing advice to the community? And there will be more interviews with Gavin, everybody, so we'll get back with more questions.
Well, I learned a lot today, and I know I can get better. But I think the biggest thing is for me is the mortgage coach community, the individuals that are all wanting to strive and get better and be those change agents for each other. So I got like 2 or 3 pages of notes and things that I can go implement and do better. So the next time that we're on this, I can share those statistics with you. I love the numbers, the data doesn't lie. And man, that's just why the mortgage coach product is so powerful in this market.
So I can't wait till the next interview with you. And Jeremy, closing thoughts, any takeaways you want to make sure everybody gets from today?
Closing thoughts for me is number one, Modern Mortgage Summit, Modern Real Estate Summit. Sign everyone up you can for it. Give the people the gift of like changing their lives. It only takes one idea sometimes that someone wasn't expecting to hear that can make significant change. So if you want to make a difference in your realtor partners' lives, loan officers, etc., give them that gift, invite them, pay for it if you have to, if you really care. Like, make sure that you're driving as many people to that as humanly possible. I wrote down movie theater. I got to look into that today. I also wrote down Shayla Gifford, which is great because I get in a funk like every other day for the last 3 weeks. So I got to figure out what's going on with me too. Maybe she can give me some insight to that. And I will tell you, if you're in a funk, it's okay, right? We all go through funks, man. I've been in a funk every other day. I'm either like really irritated or I'm depressed or I'm excited. It's one of those 3 emotions that I am feeling every other. That's it. It's like really.
Are there any other emotions?
No. Well, there's a couple, but it's not for here. So, but those are the primary 3 that I've been feeling like over the last month, right? Like, am I doing enough for everyone? Like, am I doing enough for my LOs? I want them to do better. I'm depressed because my volume's down 39%. I'm going through all of these emotions. I hear Dave say everyone's 200 million. My brain went right to, I'm not doing 200 million.
Well, by the way, they did 200 million last year. Let's qualify that.
That doesn't matter. No, that doesn't matter. The point is that my identity isn't just my work, and I have to remind myself of that all the time, right? And that it's like a number, things go up and down. This is a planting seed environment. This is a relationship building environment. This is make a big difference in people's lives environment. This is setting ourselves up for the next decade run, not just next year, not just this year, not just next month. So we need to change the way we think about that. And I'm coaching myself right now out loud, externally processing this, that I need to tell myself that every single second when I feel irritated, when I feel down, when I feel like I'm not good enough. And so do you.
Guys, we're going to go a couple minutes over because we got to hear takeaways from Todd and Deborah. This call has been too good. Mr. Bookspan, take us home with Win by Noon, taking action notes.
Holy smokes. First off, welcome, Gavin. It was great to meet you. You're a huge change agent industry, as Dave said, and I've known of you for years, but it's great to see you face to face and looking forward to more time with you. It's hard to top what Jeremy just said. I mean, as always, Jeremy, you just put the cherry on top of the cake. And I think the biggest thing is that you guys talked about something today that we all don't want to talk about. And that's just, it's a market to work harder, right? You laid out the fact that this is going to be the start of the next 10-year run, and you just have to be okay with it. My encouragement is, we talked about family and wives and kids. Make sure that they're on board, let them know, hey, this is a time where I could gain market share by taking action, and I'm going to have to work these hours, and then be really, really dialed in. You really want it to be on autopilot. We had Josh Metal on Tuesday, and he said that, or last Friday, and he said that, he's got systems when he walks in that there's zero thinking, he just takes action. And that's what you got to do. So rewatch this, make sure that you're using the TCAs that were discussed, making sure that you're using the scripts that were discussed. And then, as Jeremy said, cut yourself some slack. I was going to say, we'll see you next week on the Modern Summits, but really we got a couple of 3 more calls here in the mortgage coach community between now and then. So we will see you on Friday, if not sooner.
All right, D-Bird, close us out. You're on mute. Rookie move. She's a varsity
I was going to say
player,
everything
guys.
that Jeremy.
She's a varsity player.
Everything that Jeremy and Todd just said, it's a lot easier when you have a plan. And I know Todd didn't mention it, but I'm going to mention it for him, where today's the last day of May. How did you do for May? What worked? What did you plan to do for May? What did you execute? What did you not? And are you keeping track of your numbers so that then you can plan accordingly for June, while keeping it balanced on your wheel, so that you're not overcompensating in just the work area of life and neglecting things like with your family and kids? And trust me, I have 4 kids myself. Like, I own the t-shirt. I'm always, multitasking, and I have to remind myself to be present in the moment, because my mind will be racing, like they're talking and it's like, wah, wah. And I'm like thinking of marketing ideas, So have a plan and baby step it. And when you do your reps, reward yourself for even accomplishing those small things, like making your bed in the morning, wishing your friends happy birthday on Facebook every morning, or sending them a video text. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone, but make a plan for it, so you don't feel like you're trying to do it all at once. And I just want to say one last thing. Thank your leaders and your managers like Jeremy, who provide such knowledge and scripts. And maybe you have branch managers that are renting out movie theaters and bringing a bunch of loan officers to the Modern Mortgage Summit in the morning. I saw that someone asked in chat, the Modern Mortgage Summit is in the morning, the Modern Real Estate Summit is in the afternoon. But don't forget to thank the guys that are literally giving you their playbook and their roadmap, where all you have to do is execute. Because let me tell y'all, that compresses your time exponentially. So make sure to thank them.
So guys, my closing thought is no borrower left behind, no realtor left behind. This is a time, guys, where realtors need more help than ever. Borrowers need more help than ever. And your database. Like, if you get no takeaway from this, other than what Jeremy said, and whatever your number is, I want to close 5 loans a month. I want to close 10. He wants 25, and he wants his next loan to come from one of those clients. And I get, because I've interviewed him on following up with his alerts, your customer database. Guys, this decade will be the glory years for you if you own that database, you own that customer experience, and you make that your number 1 priority. I want every mortgage coach to have such a great CRM that's powered by Sales Boomerang, Mortgage Coach, that realtors want to give you their database, so that, like, if that contact is in your database, it's not going anywhere. So guys, no borrower left behind. This is a wrap. Thank you, Gavin. You're the man.
Thanks,
If
y'all.
you like this, give it a like down below, share it with your mortgage friends, subscribe to the Mortgage Coach channel, and have a great day. This is a wrap.
Thanks, everybody.